Hey everyone, and welcome to May's Coffee Chat. If you are new around here, our coffee chat is our monthly chance to kind of like sit down, catch up, talk about what's been working and not working over the last month, and just kind of give you a couple of little tips that I have found that might be helpful. So it's gonna be chatty, it's gonna be great. Grab a cup of coffee. I've got iced coffee because it is 75 degrees. Okay, it's not as hot as I thought it was outside today. So today I went with, just got glazed donut syrup, which I was a little skeptical about, but it's actually really good. It's really good. It's like slightly cinnamony, but not super cinnamony. So if that's available on Amazon, I will link it down below for you. And before we get started, I do want to address the elephant in the room if you normally follow me, and that is that I got my hair cut. So my hair was super long. I will pop up a picture of this morning right before I got my hair cut. And yeah, I've just, when it gets to a point where it's super long and it starts getting like snagged in things and it was just too much. It was just too much. And so I was like, you know what, we're just gonna go for a humongous change. Seriously, I told the girl, I was like, yeah, I want it like collarbone length. So she did it a little bit longer, which will work because I usually curl my hair. So I think it'll be a little bit up a little bit more. Once I curl, it'll probably be right about there, which is what I was looking for. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. And she was like, okay. And so she like cut it and was like, how about this? I was like, no, a little bit shorter. And so she kept like trimming it up and up, which was good because if I had chickened out, then that would have been helpful. But I didn't. I went with the full, yeah. So I'm loving it so far. It's only been a few hours, but it's like super weird, super weird. So the real test will be after I style it like with my normal curls, because she like, you know, did the whole blowout thing. But yeah, we shall see. The last time I went to a salon to get my hair cut, by the way, was in middle school. I typically cut it myself, including the last time it was short, which was about 4 years ago. I cut it about this length and I just cut it myself. I have like hair cutting scissors and I've done it for years, so I've kind of gotten better. I had like a whole day today. I got my hair cut and I went and got my nails done. So we got like a pinky orange thing going on, and I wanted to talk actually a little bit about that. Now, if you're like, I don't get my nails done, that's fine. But I want to talk about it because I used to think that getting my nails done was one, ridiculously expensive and a huge waste of my money, and also a waste of my time. But my husband really likes when my nails are done, so he kept like encouraging me to go get my nails done. And so I like tried it and I ended up really liking it. And this is why. I think it saves me time. It doesn't save me money, but it does save me time, and it saves me a little bit of stress because I hate when my nails get chipped and I hate when they break, which happens a lot. I'm really, really rough on my hands. And so I get like the dip powder, which is super, super strong. And so getting it once a month, then they are set for the whole month. I don't have to repaint them. I don't have to do anything to them. I don't have to cut them, like nothing. Hello. Which is really great. So I used to find it really annoying and expensive, and now I look at it as a way to invest in myself and a way to batch, which is one of the things we're talking about today. So today, by the way, we're gonna talk about some productivity tips. We're gonna talk about a couple of tips for content because we just hit 5K here on YouTube, which is so exciting. And we're gonna talk a little bit about some other little reminders that you should know. So it's gonna be great. So yeah, I see getting my nails done as a form of batching, a form of productivity. And if you're not familiar with batching is the idea that you kind of do similar tasks together at one time, instead of doing like, for example, if I'm making a product and I have a couple of different steps to make a product. Oh, there we go. Posting a product. When I post products, it takes forever. Comment down below and let me know, do you always feel like posting products takes longer than you think? I'm always like, oh, I'm just gonna post this product. It'll be like 2 seconds. And then it'll be like 3 hours later. Not quite that dramatic, but it really is. There's so many steps to go through to post a product. So you gotta like make a thumbnail, you gotta take pictures if you're doing product photography, you've got to make previews, you have to write all of the description and make sure everything is linked correctly. It takes a lot of attention to detail, which is not my forte, and so it's just like really time consuming. So one thing I do is, instead of like make a product, post it, make a product, post it, I will batch them. So I'll make maybe like 3 to 5 products and then I'll post them all at the same time. So every like at the end of the week or every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long it takes to get a couple of products, and I'll post them all at the same time. So that way I'm now making 2 covers instead of making 1 cover. I already have, you know, all of my tabs open because I need to have 2 different Canva tabs, and I need this tab and I need that tab. I've already gone through and taken product photography. So like I have 2 printable activities that I need to color in, fill in, and photograph. That's on my agenda for this weekend. And I'm gonna do those 2 at the same time so that it's like I can, you know, get the crayons out and do that and set up my phone, because I always film while always film while I do that, and I can then post them at the same time, and just all those things. So that's batching. Batching is doing things together so that it takes you a little bit less time, because if I had to set up everything to film while I'm filling out my products and then take pictures of them 2 different days, it's just gonna take longer. So if I can do those at the same time, it's going to help save a little bit of time. So that's batching, and that's one thing I see my nails as. So I want to encourage you to see what you could batch, whether that's product photography, whether that's product posting, whether that's product creation. Maybe you go through and make all of the slides for a certain product, and then you go in a different day, because I always do mine like I do in Keynote, and then I put it in Google Slides, and you put it in Google Slides a different day, and then you like link them all a different day. So you might be able to do that. You might be able to do like Instagram content if you can, you know, film a couple of things or take a couple of pictures or come up with a couple of captions at one time. You're gonna be kind of in that right mind space in order to do it. So number 1 productivity tab is gonna be batching. Number 2, I feel like is a lot not talked about, or those words, is not talked about often, and that is figuring out when you work best. So this is on my mind because I host the TPT morning check-in every morning on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, come follow me at Becca.e.davis. Not Becca's Music Room unless you're a music teacher. Come follow me at Becca.e.davis. And every morning I post my stories. I show you what I'm working on, because I always work my store in the morning, and then I use the hashtag, and you guys do that too. And you show me what you're working on, you tag me, show me the hashtag, and then I will re-share it to my story. So we do that every day. And if you work in the morning, I would love to have you come and join us no matter what time zone you're in. But the reason it's on my mind is because I work the best in the morning, because when the afternoon comes, I have had a day. And if you are a teacher full-time, like y'all, it is freaking exhausting. Oh my gosh, I fell asleep on the couch at 7 o'clock the other night. I was like, this is ridiculous. Because it's just so many things, you know? I'm like trying to not just teach the kids, but take care of them, make sure all their needs are met. And I'm trying to keep up with like people calling me, and they're like, oh, hey, the gym teacher's out. How do I get in your Zoom link? And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? I didn't know that until just now. And it's just like, it's just, you know, things happen. And then it's like, oh, and you gotta do this. Oh, and you gotta do that. And there's just so many things that pop up during the day that by the end of the day, I'm very tired. And so I do still work on my store. Like if you've seen my video about how much I work on my store, which I will link below. I do work in my store in the afternoons, but you'll notice that I work on different things. So in the morning is when my brain has lots of energy and my brain is like awake because I just did my workout. And so I can do those really like thought heavy things like writing blog posts, writing emails, a lot of writing apparently, working on big projects like the TPT course that I'm going to talk to you about in just a second, and just like big things like that, like bigger things that take a lot of effort. In the afternoon, I do not have that much attention because of just the day has happened. And so in the afternoon when I'm working, it's things like editing videos or posting products or things like, or you know, those parts of your products that you really don't need a lot of brain power for, like if it's just a lot of like copy and paste or like inserting different things and stuff like that, because those things don't take as much brain power. And so I know if I have something that's going to be a lot of effort, I need to do it in the morning, and if I want something with a lot less brain power, I need to do it in the afternoon. I also know that I get tired very easily and very early, and so I do not work well at night. Some of you have told me like, oh, I'm a night owl. I'm like, I am not. So the same way you feel about the mornings, if you are a night owl, I feel like that about the night. Like, oh my gosh, some of you have been tagging me and you're like working on things at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, that is my worst nightmare. Seriously, like, y'all, I've been with my husband for 7 years now. We started dating 7 years ago, and we started dating in college, and we used to sit in his car in the parking lot of the school after we'd like, because usually I would park there and he would take me and we'd go hang out or do whatever, and then we'd come back to my car and we would sit there and talk until like 2 or 3 in the morning, just like talking. And now I'm like, okay, 10 o'clock, I'm ready for bed, you know? And I'm like, I'm really not that old. And so it's just like really funny. But the point being, if you are someone who works really well in the middle of the night, good for you. Work in the middle of the night. If you're someone who works really well in the afternoons, work in the afternoon. If you're someone where maybe like me, you can kind of split it up, but you have to do different tasks, do that. But just start paying attention to when you feel productive and when you feel tired, and just, you know, like when all those things happen in the day, and also throughout the week. So I am also, you know, early bird. Also, I like Mondays. I am super energetic on Mondays. Like, I have energy because I actually slept over the weekend, and so like Mondays I get so much done. Tuesdays even more, but by the time I get to Wednesday and Thursday I am tired, and so by the time I get to Wednesday I usually don't want to do things. I was trying to do my batch filming on Wednesdays, and I was like, every week I'd be like, I don't want to do it, and I couldn't figure out what's wrong with me. And then I was like, oh, I'm just tired. And so I switched it to Tuesdays, and just switching it to a different day made all of the difference in the world, because I just have a little more energy on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday when I'm tired, I can come home and I can just edit, and that's something that's easy to do. So pay attention to when you're productive. I think there's like a whole, you can tell me in the comments, I think there's like a whole like test that like splits you into different things, that says like, oh, you're most productive at this time, you're most productive at this time. I don't know anything about that, except that I know that I'm most productive in the morning, and that in the afternoon I want to go to bed. So there's that. Okay, 2 more things on productivity. One is that every week I make a big 3. So I use the Full Focus planner. I do still use it. It's a quarterly planner, which is slightly annoying because then you have to have 4 every year. But I love the layout because every week you choose what they call a big 3. I've got like all sorts of crap in here now. You choose a weekly big 3 where you pick 3 projects that you want to work on this week. And then every day you also have that big 3. And sometimes, like on last Monday, it was a big 2. That's fine. But pick a couple of things that you want to work on. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I've really tried to perfect that aspect of the planner and my productivity system over the last couple of months. And I found that when I have something for the week, I keep it front and center. So actually you saw that I didn't have anything written down on my weekly big 3. It's because I put it on a sticky note and I put it on each day. So each day I just move the sticky note over. And so when I plan my day, I'm looking at the sticky note and I'm like, okay, these are the things I'm working on this week. And that tells me what I need to work on every day. So for example, my sticky note last week, let's see, what does it say? I cheated and I put, well, technically I put 5, but one was wake up on time, so I don't think that counts as an actual thing. It was just like, you really need to do this week. And I slept in twice. But it's okay. It's okay. We're working on it. All right, when we get to the end of the year, same thing with the end of the year. Like, I'm great at the beginning of the year. By the time we get to the end of the year, I'm like, I just want to sleep. So mine were edit course videos, write 4 blogs, post my new products that I had made the week before, and do a new lesson on Becca's Bible class. So every morning when I was planning out my day, I would put things in my big 3 for the day, and I would look at these things to tell me what those should do. So like on Monday, my big 2 included edit course videos and write a blog post, because those are 2 of the things on here. And so that's how it goes every day. And that is the biggest thing I have found that has helped my productivity, because I tend to get halfway through the week and be like, oh, this product sounds like fun. Or, you know, or be like, oh, well, I need to do that. And then I get to the end of the week and I'm like, oh, I wanted to do these things and I forgot. So I put it on a sticky note and I put that on every day. Obviously you don't need the planner to do that, but if you do want to try out this planner, I will link it down below. Not a affiliate link. I think I do get like $10 if you buy it to the store, but it's like a referral link. It's not an affiliate link. Anyway, and then the last thing I want to say about productivity is if there's something you need to do, just do it, because 90% of the time you're making a really big deal about it and it's not a big deal. I was reminded about that this week because I needed to call my bank and open a new bank account, and I've been putting it off for legit months that I have been thinking about this, and like really just keep putting it off. And so this week I was like, no, I'm finally gonna do it. And y'all, it was like an hour-long call, but it was a super pleasant experience. It was shorter than I thought. I thought I was gonna have to like wait a whole long time, but like they got everything set up and I was like, oh, that's not as bad as I thought. So if there's something that you need to do, just do it. Like, another thing I have been putting off is updating my online course. So I have 2 online courses. I have one called Sell Your Resources from the Ground Up. That is for brand new TPT sellers, people who have no idea what they're doing. We talk about setting up your store, creating a logo and branding and stuff like that. And we talk about how to create your first product. So it's very, very, very basic. My second course was launched last year, and it's for kind of the next level. So we talk a lot about how to make products more efficiently and do that a lot better. We talk about building your audience. We talk a ton about email lists and email marketing and all of that kind of stuff. We talk about goals and planning and all those kind of things. And now I have been putting off my updates, and I finally got it updated. And so it now will include also a whole module about Pinterest, updated, like completely current, because Pinterest has been going through a whole thing. And it's also now includes a whole section on like branding your store, specifically talking about like covers, thumbnails, previews, descriptions, and all of that kind of stuff, because over the last year I realized that is one of the most important things that helps you to get sales. And so we talk a ton in detail about how to do all those things, how to really make sure that you are just getting the most out of your listings. So the reason I'm telling you this is because it is launching this week. So this video goes out on Sunday. It is going to launch on Tuesday. Let's say Tuesday. I was gonna say Monday, but let me have Monday to finish up the last couple things. It'll launch on Tuesday, May the 4th. Be with you. And so it's gonna be on sale this week as well. So if you are like, ooh, I would like to take a course and learn how to level up my teacher business, that's what it's called, by the way, level up your teacher business, then definitely go and either follow me on Instagram at Becca.e.davis or join my email list, and I will leave the link down below. And so they will have all of the information. I'll be talking a lot about it on Instagram and in my email, so go check those out. It's truly like, this is everything I know, and it covers literally everything except for like blogging, YouTube, like content marketing. That's the only thing I didn't put in there, because I want you to have that really solid foundation of like making products, knowing how your like layout and everything should look, all of that kind of stuff in there. So that's all gonna happen, and the blogging course comes really soon too, so keep an eye out. But we won't talk about that today. What we will talk about is how we just hit 5,000 people on YouTube. Isn't that crazy? I cannot believe there are 5,000 of you out there watching. It's super crazy. I really appreciate you, first of all. And like, I really appreciate you more than, maybe more than I say. I probably don't say it as much as I should, but the last year of my life has been crazy, but it's also been so good, because y'all have just really created a community, and I have felt like so much purpose in helping you with your TPT stores, and the idea that there's like 5,000 teachers with 5,000 TPT stores out there, or potential TPT stores out there that are being impacted by my content, is just super crazy. So in honor of that, I wanted to give you a couple of tips for being consistent with content if you have a YouTube channel or a blog, or even just like an Instagram. A couple little things. So we'll go through these really quickly because we're already at 20 minutes. Number one is batch, film, or write, or post. we're gonna talk about that. So I'm not gonna go super in depth. What I do is I just, every Tuesday, I sit down and I film the next couple of videos. So I look at my content calendar and say, okay, I need, you know, these are the next 3 or 4 or however many, and I film as many as I can in that one sitting. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 5. It just kind of depends on how long the videos are and stuff like that. And so that really is one of the biggest things that helps me to stay on top of content production, because everything is just like really simple and easy, because I know when I'm gonna do it and I know it's gonna get done, and I usually get a few videos ahead, which is super great. Number 2 is to plan at least a month ahead of time. So because to help you with the batching, plan out your videos, your blog posts, or your Instagram topics about a month ahead of time. So I use sticky notes on a desk calendar, and that makes it really easy because I can move them around if I decide to change things later. But having those things out there done is really helpful. If you need help with coming up with ideas, by the way, I have a video about that, so I will link that down below. And the third thing I want to talk about is when you post a video, a Instagram post, a blog, or whatever, think about what the purpose is behind it. Are you trying to sell something? Are you trying to increase your reach? Are you trying to kind of take the people who are already there and bring them closer? Are you trying to get them on their email list? Like, what are you trying to gain out of posting that? And I know that might feel a little selfish, but think about it anyway, because everything has different purposes. These videos, for example, are designed for people who already follow me, who enjoy just watching my videos, and who want to kind of get a little bit behind the scenes. That's why they're super chatty, they're super chill, and just all of those things. And it helps because you can look forward to them because they happen every month, and it just, yeah, they're just super chill. So it's really great. I don't make them for search, and they don't get a lot of search traffic because they're kind of a variety of things and stuff like that. Same with the vlogs. The vlogs are there for people who want to see the behind the scenes. They're not there for search. They're not there for like, here's really helpful tips. There are tips in there, but that's not really their purpose. Versus when I have a video that is search friendly, then I am trying to grow my audience by having something that I know is gonna do really well. So on my Becca's Music Room channel, for example, a search friendly search kind of thing would be something like, I just posted no singing music games, because that's been a hot thing this year, is how do we teach music when we can't sing? And so I just posted that video, and it's doing really well because there's a lot of people on Zoom, there's a lot of people hybrid, there's a lot of people who are just trying to keep their kids engaged until the end of the year and can't sing, or they're just looking for different opportunities because like you can sing on Zoom, but it's weird. And so yeah, so that's doing really well, and I knew that was gonna do well when I posted it. Versus on that channel, I also do videos where I talk about just like what we're learning this week, and they get more views than I thought they would, first of all. But secondly, they're not something that's gonna show up in search because, again, it's a variety of things because we're talking about a couple of different things, and so there's that. So really think about like, what is my purpose for posting this, and kind of vary your month. So you want to have some that are for search and some that are for people already following you, and then some what I call like questions or links. So I have some blog posts specifically that are like linking blog posts. When I'm like, we did this lesson, we did this song, blah, 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 you can learn more about it here. So those are things that I talk about a lot. So like, that's why we have all the email list videos, because I talk about email lists a lot. And now I can say, go check out my playlist on email list, which is a lot easier than trying to explain everything every time. So those are also really helpful content pieces to have. And so just knowing the purpose that you have behind there, and kind of being able to have a variety of different purposes will help your content to do better long term. So you don't have like a month that's super search heavy, but you're not bringing anyone in, and you don't have a month where like you're bringing tons of people in, but no one new is finding you, and just all that kind of stuff. And the last thing I'm going to talk about right before we go is that it's almost summer. Hallelujah. So I have less than a month of school left. If you have longer, I'm sorry. We start super early, so we also get out early, really early, which is very, very nice. I prefer that because, again, I like things to be done early. I like to get things done early in the week, early in the day, and so that works really well for me. But we are going to have a whole video about what to do with your TPT shop in the summer. Right now, what I want to tell you is when you get your payout in May from your April money on TPT, if you have been relying on TBT money for expenses or even just for fun money, save some of that for the months when you won't have as much. So we'll have the April money you get in May, and then the May money you will get in June. May I find to be typically a little bit lower, but still okay. So it's gonna be lower than April, which was lower than March. And so it's gonna be a little bit lower for me, and I know that going in. So I'm gonna save a little bit out of this payout and the next payout, because the payout when we get the June money and the July money is going to be a lot less. So again, we'll talk about ways that you can, what you should do over the summer, and also like how to have a little bit more sales and what to expect and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to make sure that I told you nice and early, when you get your next 2 payouts, save a little bit of money for those months when you're not going to have as much money, if you have been coming to rely on it at all. If you're like, I only made $10, you can probably just spend the whole $10 and that's fine. But if you are, you know, putting that towards gas or food or anything important, make sure that you just have that, you know, reserve. I've been reading lots of money books, so it's been fresh on my mind lately. So there's that little tidbit for you. And with that, that is our May coffee chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I would love to know in the comments how your April went when you get out of school, and just anything that's new and relevant and your productivity tips. So let me know those in the comments, and I will see you later. Bye.